A very pleasant good day, my beloved brothers and sisters in Christ and outside the body of Christ. Well, once again, this is your Christian brother Eric Braxton speaking to you all from his beloved country, Trinidad and Tobago, the land of my nativity, the land of my birth, Trinidad and Tobago, this wonderful island country that is in the blue Caribbean Sea, speaking to you all in the month of December 2020. Brothers and sisters, I was watching a video with my late deceased atheist brother of England, Christopher Hitchens. I hear that he have died, but he have died a full-fledged atheist and not a Christian. How sad on his part. I wish that he was converted to Christianity before he died. But that did not happen, unfortunately. When he could not make it happen, if he did recognize God and the Bible and the words, instead of dying an atheist, he should have died a Christian. But that don't mean to say as he died an atheist, that don't mean to say he is lost or no. Other Christians will condemn him and say he is lost. He is doomed, he can never be saved. In all the negative things that he have said against God and the Christians, I will not give my tongue liberty to say that. His hands in the life of God. And in the day of judgment, since there is divine spiritual transparency in the hands of God, God will deal with him fairly and squarely. And I leave it up to date, brothers and sisters. I am not going beyond that. Mark my word. So, brothers and sisters, Christopher Hitchen, the late Christopher Hitchen, have put out a silly, nonsensical book in the public domain all over the world. And a silly, nonsensical book is God is Not Great. Well, I want all of you all who have buy that book and read it and accept it and digest it and believe what Christopher Hitchen have said is true. I want you to know that he is wrong and all of you all is wrong. And I want the whole world to know, every man and boy upon this earth to know, man and woman, that Christopher Hitchen is wrong. The greatest being in the universe is God. God is supreme great, and there's nobody that could be greater than God. So you see, he was totally wrong. And what he was teaching you all was foolishness. None of the angels is greater than God, and no man that will born or come in this world is greater than God. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is not greater than God, and Michael, Gabriel, and Lucifer, the three super archangels, is not greater than God. God possesses supreme greatness, and there's no angels that possess supreme greatness. Now, an angels could be great, but not possess supreme greatness. I could be great, but not supreme greatness. Supreme greatness is the highest pinnacle. Nobody did not give God that. God did not achieve that, and God already have that. And no one cannot take away that supreme eternal greatness of God, from God. You know why? Because he's the creator. So I want all of you all to know that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, white, white and black, pink or yellow, it doesn't matter what color you all is. I want you all to know that the greatest being in the universe is God. So Christopher Hitchens, he have teach people the wrong thing, and he have put out that silly, nonsensical, foolish book for people to read, and people buying it and they're accepting what he's saying. I want all the people who have read that book to throw it away and dump it in the garbage down where it belongs, and hold on to the Bible, the words of God, because the Bible shows that God is the greatest. Now the ball is in all the court, and all you have that choice to make. I'm telling you all to do that. But at the end of the day, I hope that you all follow my recommendation and put it into practice and throw with that book. That is the book that all will give a gift to all your friends and neighbors. That is the book that all want all your sons and the daughters and grandchildren to read. A book that say that God is not great. No, I want my children and my grandchildren and my friends and my neighbors and my colleagues and men everywhere to read the Bible, showing us that God is the greatest in all, because he's the creator. He's the one who created the angels, the universe, and mankind, and give us life. That's what I want people to know, that God is the supreme great one, and no one cannot be greater than him. Christopher Hitchen have lived his life and gone. But he say God is not great, but God created a moon. Have he created a moon? Let's ask God. The answer is no. Christopher Hitchen have lived and gone, and God have created all the ants and different batjak and insect. Christopher Hitchens is just an intellectual that's rubberizing with his mouth. He haven't created one ants because he can't create no ants. And he's saying God is not great. All the animals and fishes in the sea, God have created. God is great. He's just a super intellectual. Whether super intellectual is in the matter. The point, he's just a man as anybody else. And he haven't created one fish to add to the fish that God already created in the sea. And he's saying God is not great. Can you see his unseeliness and foolishness? Do you all want to walk in the same shoes like him in that foolishness and stupidity and ridiculousness? To postulate and preach a false doctrine that he was teaching, an ideology that God is not great, and end up and die an atheist like him? How sad on his part. How sad will be on all your part. I, Eric Braxton, all the Christian brother, are teaching you all the right thing from Trinidad and Tobago in the Western world, in this island country, Trinidad and Tobago, to all and sundry all over the world, through the international community, so that through this YouTube account and on the internet, you all will pick up this video and hear what I'm teaching you all under the sound of my voice, and understand what I'm saying, and go to the scriptures, the Holy Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, the original King James Bible, and read it, and you all will see that God is the greatest person in this world. And reject outright, a full 100%, what Christopher Hitchen have said, that God is not great. How can he say the dear thing that God is not great? But you know, when he die, he will have to stand before God in the day of judgment, and at that time he will know that this being that he was saying is not great. And this book that he have put out, that God is not great, then he will recognize at that time, oh, that God is the supreme great one at that time. You see how it is, brothers and sisters? When he could have, when he could have become a Christian, accept the Bible, and accept that God is great. But that did not happen in this part. Now we have died and gone, right? And he's teaching us out there in that book, silly, foolish, nonsensical book, God is not great. Brothers and sisters, how can one say God is not great when we know that God is the greatest? God is the greatest, and there's no one that could be greater than God. Yes, my dear friend, brothers and sisters, people all over the world, God is the greatest. There is no man upon the earth that could be greater than God. And there's no angels in existence that could be greater than God. Because in the first place, the angels did not make God. It is God make the angels, so therefore he is greater than all of them. The universe cannot be greater than God because it's God who created the universe, so then God is greater than the universe. Mankind and the animals cannot be greater than God because it's God who created man and the animals. So then, what I tell you, it tell you that all these things are what? Is creation, is handiworks, because he make it. And the creation did not make God, but God made the creation. Therefore he is higher and greater than what? His creation. So then who is the greatest? The creator is the greatness. And the things that he make cannot be greater as the creator. Am I correct? Exactly, I'm correct. And I know that you all will see that correctness because I'm teaching you all it. Brothers and sisters, beloved in Christ and outside the body of Christ, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world. So I, Eric Braxton, want to put this in the public domain and, and make this, set it on record, put this on record, and make it clear for all and sundry. God is the greatest being in the universe. There's no one can be greater than God. Brothers and sisters, can any man upon this earth show me a being besides God who is greater than God? Where will you all find that person or that being? There is none except God. And this challenge go to the angels too. There is no angels could point to Eric Braxton or any man and tell me, oh, besides the creator God, there's a next being that is greater than he. Yes, no angels can do that neither. You know any angels can do that? I know none of them can do that. That says no man can do that, no angels can do that. But what I do know, the same way how Christopher Hitchen could say that God is not great, I know how angels could say God is not great. He could say that, but he just say that by just words. Yeah? But in practical, God is the greatest person because He's the creator. hmm That's the fact of the matter. It will remain so. No one will not change that. No angels can change that, and no man can change that. That's a fact of it is. We mightn't like that, but the point is that's how it is. I mean, people who does war going against God mightn't like that, but with all the likeness and dislike they have, at the end of the day, can't change that. They can change what? They can't even stop the sun from shining. They can stop God from being great. They can take away that greatness from God. They can't take away no greatness of God. Uh-huh. You think they could take away that supreme greatness that God the Father and Jesus Christ possess? They can't take it away from him. None of the angels can take that from God. And no man can take that from God. And no animals can take that from God. Uh-huh. It's time all you learn that lesson, yeah? Because I, Eric Braxton, are teaching it to you all the hard way. In the way of love, I'm teaching you all that facts. I'm not come here to bully you all, to teach to say I'm riding some high horse or claim super bright boy over you all, or exalt myself over you. And anyway, I'm humbly teaching you all this truth. Yes, but I know in spite of I tell you that a lot of people will say I talking nonsense, and some will reject and some will accept. Oh, but that's the reality how it is. Because how people is in gross ignorance. Because even Jesus Christ, some people didn't accept what he was saying, and yet still people accept what he's saying. So I expect that to happen with me. People will accept what I say, and people will reject what I say. But the truth remains the truth. Oh yes, that's a fact of the matter. That's a fact of the matter, brothers and sisters. That's a fact of the matter. No one is greater than God. He possesses supreme greatness, and no one cannot take away that greatness from God. Because you know why no one can take it away? Because no one did not give him it in the first place. I want you all to know that. I want you all to know that. You think I, Eric Braxton, could take away the greatness of God and say God is not great, but claiming I is greater than God. I will be only fooling myself at the end of the day if I make that claim at any time. And I know why I'm making that claim. People only laughing at me. Oh, look, he playing he's greater than God. But look, the hands biting him and he hurting the foot. Look, he's scratching. But he playing he greater than God. Look, the pit bull. Look, he passing close to the gate and the gate open and the pit bull come out and look how the pit bull running him down. I thought he say greater than God. He should have put his hands on holy pit bull and pelt him away. But he running from the pit bull because you know the pit bull will bite up his tail. But he claiming he be greater than God. And these people they watch and laughing at he. You understand? Uh-huh. But he claiming he greater than God. And that's using these examples to show you how foolish people, human beings, think. You understand? And make this false claim. What greater than God? No angels can be no greater than God, and no man can be greater than God. God is possessed supreme greatness, and that supreme greatness that the Holy One of Israel possess, our Creator God, no one dare not give him it, and no one cannot take it away from him. That's the hardcore facts of the matter, brothers and sisters, and I hope I have set this record straight concerning that matter. And I've put it that, and I've put it in a public domain for you all to hear this message. And I've set the record straight concerning this matter. So Christopher Hitchen, in conclusion, before I come to this video, sad on his part that he have died at 88 years. All his life with all the fancy lecture and his standing ovation and his interviews and his books and his interviews and all these things. Now he have died and gone. And he have put out a book that God is not great. Therefore it means he was opposing God all the time. And that is a very sad God who say he's saying God is not great. That is a very sad God who created him and bring him into existence. You see the sad situation that he ended up in? He was opposing his creator God all along the way. And you know, all of the things that he was saying against God the creator, he's not great and God is a confusion God and the Bible accepts slavery and he don't understand the God of the Bible. You know, God love him all the time. And you know, God had given the opportunity to reject what he was saying and recognize him and accept the Bible and become a Christian and began teaching the gospel. But did he finally do that? The answer is no. He went down that road in that rebellious manner. He ended up just like the children of the Israel in the wilderness. They die out in the wilderness and then see the land of Canaan. Unfortunately, he have died and never become that Christian. Unfortunately, but as let me remind you all a second time, I am not saying this because he died an atheist. And in spite all that he say against God, negativity, and that book that he put out, God is not great. I am not giving my tongue liberty to say, in spite of all what he did, he cannot be saved. Other Christian will fast to condemn him and say he will never be saved. All these things he say against God in the day of judgment, God will destroy him. No, well, I can't say that because I don't have the authority to say that. The point is, in the hands of the judgment of God is a righteous judge, and his judgment is righteous. And since there is physical and spiritual transparency, fairness in the hands of God, he is in the hands of God, and God will judge him fairly. And I leave it there because you know why I leave it there? Because I cannot go beyond that. That is my stopping point. Now he's in the hands of God. He's not in my hands. Uh-huh. So all you think of the day of judgment, I will be judging Christy for hitchens. Oh, well, you all have it wrong. Uh-huh. All you think I will be judging him. No, I will not be judging him. God will be judging him, not me. Uh-huh.